We are back with more exciting adventures of the members of the Florida Powerboat Club, Stu Jones, along with producer Ryan McCoy, here in the Florida Powerboat Club headquarters in Pompano Beach. And we are back with episode 3, featuring the Key West Offshore Poker Run, the 29th edition, fall of 2021, and we have got 12 episodes in all to feature all of the highlights of this event. Moving right into number 3, when we left off on our last episode, we were joining the powerboat teams as they made their way from Miami, picking up their first poker card, then making a quick romp offshore down to Government Cut, and that's about where we're going to pick everybody up on this next show and follow them through Miami as they head down through Biscayne Bay towards Key Largo, our next checkpoint. And, of course, we're going to make that one more poker card stop at Grove Harbor Marina in Coconut Grove before hitting the throttles to head southbound. And, as always, before we get started, let's thank our sponsors. Our 2022 series sponsors include Blackwater Boats and their sister company, Deep Impact Custom Boats, and their authorized sales center, Plantation Boat Mart. Mystic Powerboats, Cigarette Racing Team and their authorized sales center, Top Gun Yachts, cigarette dealer Chief Marine Group, Midnight Express Powerboats, Big Thunder Marine, Concept Boats, Performance Boat Center, Mercury Racing, and Florida Powerboat Club's longest running sponsor, Nortec High Performance Boats. Additionally, we'd like to thank these Key West feature sponsors. There are 18 in all. It's with their support that we're able to create such a signature poker run event every year, and we thank them for their support. So we are going to spend a little time here at this new camera vantage point mounted right at the Government Cut, thanks to Zip Zap Power, one of their videographers here with a camera on sticks and an incredible lens to get these boats as they pass through from a long ways away. But then, as you can see, zooming in here on Glenn Moss and his 42-foot MTI. That's 2 42s in a row now. A lot of MTIs on this run. They're going to set a record for the Key West run, and we'll have more information on that later in the series. Well, that was 2 MTIs, and this is a 38-foot fountain. But one thing for sure, guys, you're going to be seeing a lot of center consoles on this Key West offshore poker run. Seems to be that this trend has picked up after about a decade now, where we had just a few center consoles. Now they're making up probably about half of the entire poker run fleet, which is about 150 center consoles, which is an amazing statistic when you think about where poker runs were, say, 15 years ago. And let's welcome another newcomer, Dominic Landracina from New Jersey, Midnight Express 37, Quad Mercury Racing 450Rs. Quite a popular power package now here for these center consoles, giving them a lot of performance and speed. Oh, look, it's a performance V-bottom, something we don't see very often, right? Alan and Allie Chase, regulars here on this event with their Hustler Razor, powered by Mercury Racing 700 SCIs. And here's Michael Lawrence from Connecticut in his 39-foot Outerlimits, yet another performance V-bottom, this one powered by Mercury Racing 525s. That indeed is a very popular model for many years. Chris Snow now, another performance V-bottom, this one an old classic 1988 Scarab. It's owned by Michael Lawrence, who we just saw in the Outerlimits, and he's got his buddy Chris Snow at the helm today. And it looks like a fountain lightning coming through the pipeline here at Government Cut, and that's David Kramer from New Jersey, who has just evened the score between performance V-bottoms and center consoles for the first 8 boats in today's episode. And we're going to score one more for the center consoles as Team Seakeeper makes their way through the cut. Captain Brian Mullinax and Nick Buckman from Seakeeper in this 28-foot Bluewater. And special thanks to this team, who have once again volunteered to be one of our official safety boats for the poker run. And I'm going to let you guys enjoy the beautiful camera work from Zip Zap Power on this segment as Taylor Sism comes into frame in that 39-foot MTI Cat, the 390X, and just happens to be one of many 390X models that are entered here on this Key West event for November. And Taylor Sism at the helm now, rounding that turn to come into Government Cut. Kind of a cakewalk for Taylor, who would probably admit that this is a bit of a Sunday drive for her. having been now racing on a regular basis now for Team MTI on the offshore racing circuit in a boat that's somewhat similar to this 39, but of course a full racing canopy with the same power Mercury Racing 450Rs. And it's another MTI rounding the bend, but quite a bit more aggressive than that 39 we just saw. This is a 48 MTI Team Raging Bull Mercury Racing 1550. Sam Gabriel with son Matt at the helm. Let's listen in. Well, this is turning into an MTI segment as we've got Gary Lickle here in his brand new 39 MTI Special Ops, a boat name that he introduced probably 20 years ago with a 38-foot cigarette. And coming in hot now on this 41 skater, Tom Archer from New Jersey and Team Laughing Giraffe. And throwing a nice rooster tail, Cody Sheeran from Kentucky and his MTI 390X, powered by Mercury Racing 450s. And Curtis Morris been putting on a great show doing poker runs in his 36 skater. Let's listen in. And it's Don Doty and Jim Lee here, two skaters on the run. This one, Boss Lady, completely refit 48 skater with Mercury Racing 1350s. And Bob Jenkins from Team Black Thunder, 2 years in a row now attending Key West Poker Run, this time in a brand new Black Thunder 43 flat deck powered by Mercury Racing 565s. And a strong showing from New Jersey here on this event, Chris and Quinn Lamort in their 36-foot skater, Mercury Racing 700s. And another newcomer to the club, all the way from Canada, Joel Levac from Quebec in Levac Motorsports, 39-foot MTI. And for anyone who's counting, you're about to lose track because there's so many of these on the run. And Justin Beischel carrying on the family spirit here in this 36-foot skater, Team Short Circuit. And I know he's got his late father, Bill, riding along today all the way to Key West. And a very special welcome all the way from California, Kyle Ilchi in this 32-foot Doug Wright Cat. And now fast forward about 10 minutes as they make their way into Biscayne Bay. That's Miami way off in the distance. But here now at Coconut Grove, and that is Grove Harbor Marina off in the background. Curtis Morris there in the red skater just slowly pulling up to the docks. Pretty quiet here on the waterfront. You can see just how beautiful it is and calm. The winds have died down. I don't think you're going to find a better day for boating here in this November day on a Wednesday. So there's not a lot of activity on the water today. Things pretty quiet around the marina other than, of course, the poker run activities. Remember that a lot of teams have used Grove Harbor as a staging marina, so they've been launching their boats there over the last day or two. And you can't really see it, but these docks are full. They probably had about 20 to 25 rafted up on the docks overnight, and then, of course, there's going to be a lot more for the next day. In fact, I think a lot of the Thursday teams are just arriving right about now, but they won't be joining us for the run today because they're scheduled to go out on Thursday. But what a big score for these teams that are running on Wednesday because their conditions are absolutely fantastic. And not quite as many boats. It looks like there's a lot of boats in the harbor now, but this is nothing compared to what you're going to see the following day. A little activity here at the docks. You can see the boats are coming down to pick up cards. Some big yacht has just made his way into the marina. A little close for comfort as Boss Lady just transits over the transom of that yacht. And now we've got Tom Archer in Team Laughing Giraffe, another skater just pulling up to the dock. You know, I enjoy watching these videos and seeing the teams pull up to the dock. And this is when you can really get a good look at the boats and the team. So it's a big part of the video segment that we like to include in all of our episodes. And I got a kick out of some posts that went over into Facebook and went viral because a lot of viewers who had not seen what a poker run is about were puzzled by the whole concept of the boat pulling up to the dock but not actually docking, and the girl, you know, in most cases walking out on the bow of the boat and picking up a card. So some people just don't get it, but for those of you who do get it, well, this is a big part of what we do Again, Don Doty here in his 42 skater, Mercury Racing 1350s. Love the bustle on the back of these skaters. No two seem to be alike ever. They are all very custom made by Peter Ledden and his crew at the Skater Factory in Douglas, Michigan. And I'm not sure that you're going to have quite as much eye candy on a Wednesday morning anywhere, and I'm referring to both what's on the left and the right-hand side of the dock. The left-hand side, of course, Team Yahoo, this beautiful skater, Curtis Morris and his crew. And, of course, the right side, our FPC girls in their bathing suits, assisted by the very talented and handsome young men from the Grove Harbor Marina team with their little boxing gloves on. And, I don't know, these guys, they invented that about 10 years ago, and nobody has even come close to anything as cool as these poles with boxing gloves. But that, of course, keeps the boats from banging into the dock as they make their final turn. But Bobby Burke, he's not a dock banger. He's got his act together in his 36-foot Gladiator, not his first rodeo. Got his lovely lady up on front getting the card as he just gracefully passes by the dock. And that's going to be card 2 for them. Remember, they got a card earlier at the Hollover Marine Center gas dock. And there's going to be one more checkpoint later today down in Marathon. And that's all the cards we're going to do for the trip down. And many of you are asking, well, I thought there's 5 cards in a poker run. Well, indeed there are, but when you have an event with this many boats and you have the logistics that we have to manage, we try to limit the number of checkpoints we have throughout the day. Team Scaredy Cat, Todd and Heidi Ann Chartier from Michigan, their first event with their brand new MTI 390X. Wow, another 390, of course. Their other boat, of course, is a center console. They've got a Nortec 450 Sport, which they brought to the Key West Poker Run a year earlier. Well, thanks to these fantastic drone shots, lovely Tori and Kitty on the dock with our Grove Harbor team is now Sam Gabriel and his son Matthew and their crew on Team Raging Bull. A great shot of this 48-foot MTI we saw earlier, a Mercury Racing 1550s. Just a one-of-a-kind MTI you won't see anywhere else. And another first-timer for this event anyway, Joseph Genta from New York, 42 Cigarette Team Doubledown. It's one of 4 Cigarette 42X models that were built with Mercury Racing 860s. Gotta love these drone shots as we can close in on all of the teams without really blowing them out of the water or dusting them with wet salt spray. This is just a fantastic way for us to get some great videography of these events and in close quarters especially. And it has really changed the whole way that we can present these poker run checkpoints and get that close and personal feeling with all of our poker run teams as they kick off this exciting 6-day adventure heading down to Key West. And one more shot as we close in on Team Black Thunder. 2 boats registered, that 43 flat deck, the yellow boat, and this 43-foot raised deck, a boat that's known really for its huge cabin down below. And representing that team, Tim Doran, the new owner of Black Thunder from Hannibal, Missouri. Congratulations to the entire crew for getting back out on the poker run circuit. Well, guys, time to go fast, and that's exactly what Brian Metcalf is doing all the way from California. That's amazing, 3,000 miles away. Team Native Sun is a 2009 40-foot MTI. I'm not sure what power she has, but listen to this beast roar. He's getting on it now. Well, guys, if you want to find out how to have fun, then you got to watch How to Live. Michael and Sarah Howe in their 390X at MTI that they're just loving. They've had about 3 different MTIs so far, a 34 Cat, a 39 now. They also had a 42 center console, but they love this 390X. They go all over the place with it. They love going fast. They love having fun, and they love showing everybody how much fun the Florida boating lifestyle is on their YouTube channel, How to Live. And asked in their video bio, why did they come back to the Key West run? He says that the people made us come back. We love the friends that we've made with the FPC. And yes, indeed, another MTI 390X. This time it's Cody Sheeran from Kentucky. We saw this boat a little bit in the last episode coming through Government Cut, but now in the open waters of Biscayne Bay on a nice cruise, probably running about 85, 90 miles an hour. That's the thing that's great about these boats. They'll run 100 miles per hour all day long, comfortable ride, and get great fuel economy, close to 2 miles to the gallon, if you can believe that. And for those of you at home who are laughing at those kind of numbers, believe it or not, in the world of high-performance boating, those are really respectable fuel economy numbers. And continuing our MTI video feature, because that's basically what we got going here, all the way from Iowa, Jared and Heather Morris. Slot 42V is what they call this. It's got Quad Mercury Racing 450Rs. That is the ideal power package. And you can cruise all day long at 70 miles per hour in this center console with all your friends on board. They've got a light crew today. Looks like about 6 or 7 on board. I've seen people with 12, 13, even 14 people on these big 42s. Plenty of room. It's got a wide beam, a center console with a bathroom down below, and a really solid windshield and hardtop so you can get in and have some shade along the way. And here's a super cool cigarette 42X. This one powered by Mercury Racing 1350s, if you can believe that. Frank Lovato from New Jersey. Team No Excuses. Love this boat. One of very few that were built with that size power. I mean, think about it. That's 2,700 horsepower. And running right along with Frank is this team also from New Jersey, the Janucci's, father and son, Frank Jr. and Frank Sr. This is a 39 Top Gun, so very similar boat to the 42X we just saw. This one powered by Mercury Racing 700s. And here's the money shot, guys. And we do encourage this. If you know your partner you're running alongside and the helicopter comes into play, as long as there's not a lot of other traffic around, we don't mind if you guys get together and do what we call the money shot routine. You got 2 really cool cigarettes running together here, and both of them know each other quite well. You can see the water conditions are ideal. Gotta love this segment. And it's another cigarette 42X, a beautiful purple color on Team Doubledown. Joey Genta with his buddies Mike, who we call Phoenix, another Mike, a.k.a. Citywide, and Edmund Lynch. Let's listen to the roar of these Mercury Racing 860s. And back to our poker card segment here at Grove Harbor Marina. That is the lovely Tori and Kitty handing out the poker cards. Let's see who's up, and that looks like Charlie and Michelle Mattingly in their 48-foot MTI all the way from Maryland, putting on a great show here. Not their first time with the club, and I think we've already seen them in the previous episode getting a card at the earlier checkpoint. So remember, guys, a lot of love here on this Wednesday show. Anybody who's on the run today seems to be getting a lot of coverage in these first 3 episodes, whether it's from the chopper or the drone or the dockside video. And stealing the show now is Team Stealin' Time. Clark Beecher from Texas with his Nortec 390 Sport triple 350 Verados. And you will discover in a future episode that he had his heart set also on an MTI 390X, and he has already ordered one. He takes delivery in May at the Orange Beach Powerboat Week. Congratulations, Clark. Love this shot. You can see our helicopter off in the distance just kind of hovering around, waiting for some boats to come out and play. They're dying to get on top of the boats and chase them down through the bay waters. And in the meantime, we've got Andre flying our drone dockside here, picking up the boats as they come up alongside to pick up their second poker card for the run. And there is Michael Tandoy from New York and Team Out of Control, and he is very much in control today as he slowly and carefully puts the boat alongside to get his card and just idles out of the harbor. Guys, this is the time to just take it easy. Nice and easy does it here when you get your poker card. Don't have to be fast. We've got all day. Todd Amandus now up from Florida with his Mercury Racing 700 power Cigarette 39 Top Gun. The first time they've done this poker run with the club. What a beautiful Top Gun it is. And another beautiful cigarette, this 42X owned by Tom Ruff from Ohio, powered by, I believe, Mercury Racing 860s. I could be wrong. It looks very familiar to a boat that was in the club with another owner just a couple of years earlier, so it's obviously a late model 42X. And this is really stacking the deck in cigarette's favor in terms of the overall participation of cigarette owners, and really interesting to see what a wide range of boats of all ages. And another factory sponsor that's got great numbers on this Key West event, Team Deep Impact, Mark Fisher at the helm, along with his crew for the day. I think Eileen and the girls are hanging out on the yacht down in Key West already, while the guys are cruising on this really cool, brand new 399 powered by Quad Mercury Racing 450s. And by now you've noticed that this is the cabin model, just that huge forward cabin. Remember, they still have space underneath the center console at the helm. So this indeed is a very spacious boat. You can bring a lot of friends and still have the comfort of air conditioning down below. Now here's a team that probably wishes that they had air conditioning down in the cabin, but not likely. Team Teasers with Andy Imhoff at the helm is a former race boat converted to pleasure, and it's not likely that they're going to be running air conditioning in that cabin with the full race setup. Of course, there are canopied boats in the club that do have air conditioning, but usually they're built as recreational boats from the start, and they become fully equipped in the rigging stages, so when the boats get delivered, they've got full AC cabins. Here's another boat that's air conditioned. Well, on the outside anyway, Greg Scheller from Kentucky, this Nortec 390 Sport, powered by triple Mercury Racing 400s, and he's got a big crew on board. Guys, this is why you want to own a center console. And here's Bill Noley in his 50-foot cigarette Team Thunderstruck, and it makes sense he's riding along because he's a part of the Maryland Offshore Performance Group, and Andy Imhoff takes care of the boat. If you had a chance to look in that engine room, it is packed full of triple Mercury Racing 1075s, and it is just an amazing sight to behold. And it's Fred and Judy Revis who are enjoying the day on their MTI 42. They have enjoyed a lot of Key West poker runs in this center console, and they also owned an MTI 48 Cat for quite some time, powered by Mercury Racing 1350s. Since then, that boat has moved on to another club member, but Judy says, Fred, I'll go on the poker runs if we keep the center console. And so that's where we're at today. Looks like the girls are having just a great time on the dock. They've completed their task of handing out lots of poker cards, and that is Kitty and Tori, who are going to join us in Key West, but not right away, guys. They still have a huge group of poker run teams that they've got to check in here at Grove Harbor throughout the day. So their job is not over here at Grove Harbor quite yet. They're going to join us on the Thursday run down to Key West. And we're back out on the waters as we push the throttles. Bob Jenkins from Team Black Thunder in this Flat Deck 43, powered by Mercury Racing 565s. And just a personal shout out to Bob Jenkins and the new owners of Black Thunder, Tim Doran and his family, for getting back in the poker run scene. Love to see the Team Black Thunder back out on the waterways with us. And now we're catching up with Jeff and Brenda Jacobs in Team We're Back, 39-foot cigarette center console, triple Mercury Racing 450s. I love the blue color-coordinated cowlings, which match the blue boot stripe alongside the boat. And one thing I want to point out, this couple, boy, they love their boating. They came all the way from Key West, where they keep the boat in rack storage at Stock Island Yacht Club. And a closer look now at Team Out of Control. Michael Tandoy from Rochester, New York, keeps the boat at Hullover Marine Center. Team Out of Control, a reworked skater with a lot of upgrades to it, running Mercury Racing 860s at first, but then later a repowered to Mercury Racing 1100s, and he says he's loving it. And a little love now with Bobby and Kendall Burke in their 36-foot cigarette Gladiator Team Lucky Strike. Let's listen to these Mercury Racing 525s. Well, guys, at these speeds, it doesn't take very long to pass through Biscayne Bay. It's about a 40-mile ride from Miami down to Key Largo, and I can see that some of the boats are starting to make their way in through Jewfish Creek, which is essentially the gateway to Key Largo, and a point where I think all of us go, wow, we're in the Keys now. You know, the first time when you get in there and you're weaving through this narrow mangrove waterway, and you really have a feeling of, hey, I've arrived in the Keys. And remember, this is just the first leg. You know, we're at mile marker 108 here at Gilbert's as we look down on the US 1 bridge. And that means we've still got 108 miles to go to get into Key West. But there's just something about this first arrival point that makes everybody feel like kind of, you know, wow, you know, we're here. And it's such a visual experience, too, because you're coming in through these mangroves. It's very scenic and colorful. A lot of birds, a lot of wildlife. Of course, if we see people fishing in the small flats boats and, you know, people paddling in little canoes and paddleboards, we always want to come off plane, guys. This is the time when you got to be respectful to your fellow boaters. We don't own these waterways, and we don't have the right to just go plowing through here at speed. If you see somebody that's underway, that's not so bad. But if they're on anchor up against the mangroves, then please slow down and give them a wave. And remember now, it's only, say, about 11:30, 11:45 at this point. We still have a lot of hours of daylight and, you know, till at least 4:35 p.m. So it's always okay to just take your time like these guys did. They pulled off plane. This is when you can pull off your life jackets and reach for a bottle of water and get the lines and the fenders ready, because we're going to be stopping here at Gilbert's. And you can see there's already a lot of boats have tied up here. And the key to making the best use of this 450-foot dock as well as the 10 slips is just be prepared, have lines and fenders ready, and try to tie up to a boat that's a similar length to your own. And now introducing a new location in Islamorada for lunch and for fuel as a stopover on the Key West Poker Run. This is Chief Marine Group at mile marker 85. So we're about 15, 20 miles further past Gilbert's. And we've added an additional dimension here thanks to the guys at Chief Marine Group. They put up a big tent and a lot of tables and chairs and made it a really nice venue for having lunch. They brought in a food truck and a fuel truck for pumping fuel, so we were able to get 93 octane fuel, and that's the Snake Creek Bridge in the background, so that's access to the ocean. In fact, from this point you can go back into the bay waters to continue your trip down, or you can go right out into the ocean through Snake Creek and you're 85 miles straight shot right into Key West. And you can see from these video clips that while Chief is certainly under construction, it's a new location. This place feels like a nightclub. I mean, they got these EG vodka girls pouring vodka, not to the drivers, of course, but a real kind of a fun vibe with the tent up and the food being served. And check out all the space. I mean, they could fit easily 60, 70, 80 boats into this basin if everybody tied up and rafted up. So this is an ideal checkpoint for us in so many ways, and it's going to be a big part of the future of Florida Powerboat Club as they continue to develop this property, which is in such a cool location along Snake Creek. So that has been a fantastic day on the water as we continue this Wednesday run for the Key West Poker Run 2021 edition, as about 100 teams making their way from Miami to Key West. Guys, we're reaching the half-hour point. I know that means it's time to say goodbye, at least for now, as we wrap up episode 3. But remember, we've got a total of 12 episodes with feature coverage of this signature Florida Powerboat Club event, the 29th annual Key West Offshore Poker Run. And here's some highlights of our upcoming episodes as we continue the adventure with members of the Florida Powerboat Club who have come from all over the world to join us for this signature poker run event. It's all right here on Florida Powerboat Club's YouTube channel, and you guys can't afford to miss another episode, so be sure to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you'll get an update every time a new episode is released. Be sure to check out the website at flpowerboat.com for all of the details about upcoming poker run events in 2021, as well as membership information. You can follow us on Facebook at Florida Powerboat Club, And you can follow us on Twitter and on these Instagram pages. Thanks to all of our viewers for your wonderful comments on our page, and you guys know who you are, and I really do appreciate that. But if you have questions or comments you want to direct to me specifically, please use my personal email at stu@flpowerboat.com. I check that daily, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. We're going to sign off for now. This is Stu Jones along with our producer Ryan McCoy in the Pompano Beach studio. Have fun out there, guys. Be safe on the waterways. Wear your life jackets when the time is right, and always respect your fellow boaters. Bye for now.